Hey guys, Andrew Pierce, the Gourmet Agent, and today I am lucky enough to sit here with Holli Miner of Southern Charm Staging, and she is going to tell us the benefits of staging your house. So a lot of people don't want to spend the money, don't want to take the time, don't think they need it, or think they can stage it themselves, which we've both seen pictures in the MLS, and those houses sit there for a really long time.
Right.
So Holli, tell us a little bit about you and Southern Charm and just the benefits of staging.
So I have worked in real estate for a really long time, and I know how to look through a buyer's eyes because I've been a buyer myself many times, and I've worked with a lot of buyers. And especially these days, the competition is fierce. There's so much new construction and existing homes, and a lot of people don't have vision. So if you go into a house that has a lot of clutter, sometimes you can't see past that. And it's hard for people to see the features of the home, and they just notice the stuff. And so that there's two kinds of staging that I do. One is occupied staging, and the other is vacant staging.
What's the difference in those two?
So occupied staging is for people who live in their homes.
So you use their stuff to kind of...
Right.
Okay.
So sometimes when you live in your home, and especially if you've been there for a long time, you get very comfortable with your things, and you arrange things so that it's functional. Like you would move something in front of a window because you can see the TV better,
Right.
but then you're blocking the window, or things like that. So what I would do with occupied staging is go in there and what I can do is go take a look around. And there's three options with the occupied staging. I can walk around and give a verbal directions to the seller or the agent, but usually the seller. And then they can actually do the things that I suggest that way. The second way is if I go around and then I give them a written direction list of what we talked about, and then they do it that way. The third option, which is actually what I like to do best because it's sometimes what I think is going to work, like as far as furniture arrangement, actually there may be a better way once I start moving things. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's actually, I think I do a better job, and it's easier if they will give me 3 hours in their house to actually move stuff around.
And that's with their stuff, just kind of remodeling with what you have. Okay.
Exactly. And usually if I do that, I'll have them go ahead and start packing up stuff, especially if they have stuff that is fragile or, very important to
like
them.
Personal, valuable.
Yeah, so I want them to go ahead and get those things and pack them up. And then I'll go in for that 3 hours. I try to keep it at 3 hours. Sometimes it takes a little longer, but and then sometimes I will bring in some of my props. If there need to be some pillows, or the goal with staging is to make the house uniform, like throughout, to give it a cohesive feeling.
A nice flow.
Right. Okay. So that you don't have where you're having to adjust what you're thinking in each room. You
Right.
don't. You want it to kind of flow together so that as the people walk through the house, it gives them a feeling instead of lots of feelings.
And it helps them sort of visualize what their stuff's going to look like in the house, right?
Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So that's occupied staging, and then vacant staging is very helpful whether the house is brand new construction or it's old existing construction. With the brand new construction, it's all beautiful, and it's really well put together usually, but sometimes there are little imperfections, and if every single thing is empty, then you notice those things first off.
They stand out really boldly.
Yes, they do. And then that makes you question the construction. It makes you question these things. So if you put furniture in there, first of all, it makes it more homey. It makes it a lot warmer than just having blank walls. And so if you put the furniture in there, it gives people something else to focus on. And then it's the same thing with using that furniture. I can, focus on the fireplace and, make sure that the big sliding glass door is open.
So enhance the features of the home that are already there.
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly. And with the vacant, I have control of putting all the stuff in there, so I really make it flow with
Very
that.
nice.
Yeah.
And you guys can't see it all, but she's got a huge warehouse. We're sitting on a couch actually that could be in a stage home.
Yeah.
This is where we're doing this.
Yeah.
One thing I've seen a lot of is the virtual reality staging or 3D staging, where you have an empty video, and then all of a sudden some CGI furniture gets dropped in.
Right.
This is obviously much more fun for you,
right,
and probably more fun for the seller and the buyer to see and be able to sit on.
Right.
Because it's almost misleading to see couches and tables and pictures, and then when you walk in, it's empty.
Exactly. So I think that the virtual staging, I think there's a place for it. You know, if your buyer ends up being somebody who lives in California and they're not actually looking at the house and they're not actually walking through and they're not actually getting a feel, but they're basing their decision to buy or not on the pictures, then having those pictures could be helpful. But if a client is actually going to be walking in the house and they've seen the pictures with the furniture and then they get there and it's not there, it's confusing.
You set a weird expectation.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore.
Right, right. So, you know, they could go back and look at the pictures and figure it out, but actually having the furniture, it just makes it feel homey.
And it's not a huge cost to the seller either,
right?
Oh,
no.
Sort of a drop in the bucket to get your house ready. You spend money on landscaping. And,
absolutely.
You know, you got your yard guy out there making sure all the grass and the bushes look good and the pine straws.
Right.
Why not do the same thing? It's almost interior curb appeal.
It is 1,000%. And my big what I want people to understand, and whether it's a realtor or seller who pays, and it can be either one, and or a combination of the two. Is staging is an investment. So when do you stage? You stage before you take the pictures so that you have beautiful listing pictures.
Right.
So, you know, stage and then have a really good photographer come in there and take really good pictures, and your odds right there have increased exponentially.
Yep.
Or if you think, well, I think my house is going to sell without staging. Then you go ahead and list the house. If it sits there for a while, then you want to do the staging. Then instead of doing a price reduction, like say you're going to reduce it $5,000
in 6 weeks if no offer.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So instead of reducing it that $5,000, reduce it $3,000 and pay me $2,000 to come in there and put furniture in your house.
Right.
And that is an investment. Otherwise, you're taking that $2,000 and you're throwing it out the window by reducing it to $5,000. You're literally taking that money and putting it into nothing. You're just saying, I don't want this. So, so to invest in staging is well worth it. And another thing that I personally bring to the table as a stager is I'm a real estate agent, and I'm an accredited buyer's representative. And so I have brought buyers to houses many times, and I become very, very invested in the houses that I stage. So I advertise as well. I try to find buyers, and I want my furniture back too. So like it behooves me to get it sold as quickly as possible.
It allows you to put it into another house.
Exactly. So you're actually getting two real estate agents for the price of one.
Yeah, you're kind of one-stop shopping. You do
exactly.
Literally, you find the buyer, you list the house.
Right.
You're just...
Right. Well, and I can do that. I honestly like just doing the staging. Like I am perfectly fine with not listing the house. Honestly,
that is another headache.
Yeah. So so I like working with the listing agents and helping them to sell, and working more like trying to find a buyer than actually listing it myself. I will do that, but I prefer to work with the listing agents.
Cool. And I know we're up here in your warehouse in near Surf City.
Yeah.
But is there kind of a geographical range you won't go outside of, or you go all the way down to Charlotte?
Yeah, I have a really hard time saying no. So I have to date gone, I guess Curie Beach is probably the farthest south that I've done, and then the farthest north so far has been Hubert.
Okay.
But I know I have an investor that I work with frequently who got my number off of my truck.
Nice.
I have a big truck, and this was last year. And so I stage their houses, and so they have one coming up in Bolivia that I'll be doing.
Very cool.
And another one in Jacksonville. So
kind of all over our local MLS area.
Yeah.
Have truckload travel.
Obviously, I'm here now. I've just had this warehouse for about 6 months, and
cool.
So this has been a huge game changer for me. It's 2,400 square feet, and this all used to be in like 4 storage units and my garage, and just it was all over the place. So this has been fantastic to have this. But now that I have actually a home base,
right?
I'm trying to focus more on Topsail, Hampstead, Holly Ridge,
cool.
And then if I need to go Wilmington, Jacksonville, that's fine. But I mean, it's easier to do closer to home.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and I live in Hampstead, so I know that area really well, and
Cool.
so I like doing the ones that are closer. But at this point, I'll travel and to do occupied staging. You know, where I'm not having to take my
Yeah,
truck.
that's just hopping in the car and going.
Yeah, that I can do anywhere.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool. Well, if somebody wants to reach out and ask you a question, what's the best way to get a hold of you? Facebook, email?
Yep, I have a Facebook page, Southern Charm Home Staging, and my number. I don't know if you can see it back here.
And I'll drop all her information in
Yeah.
the links below the video so that you can click on it and you don't have to zoom in and see
Right.
what the number is.
So you can call me. My email is hollyminerhomes@gmail.com. That's Holly with an I, Miner with an E. Yeah, so you can contact me that way. I also have a website, which is southerncharmhomestaging.com. And on there I have pictures. I'm really bad at taking before pictures. I completely
You get excited and go
yes, yes. I'm just go in there and just start doing. And so I'm really bad at taking before pictures. And really the only reason that I have a lot of really good after pictures is because the photographers take the pictures of the houses. And I actually do have a photographer that I work with that even if I do the staging after, I have him go in and take staging pictures.
Cool.
Oh, he's so good. So yeah, and that's something that I can do too, is I can offer, you know, I have a lot of resources for things like that too. So.
Yeah, literally one-stop shopping for staging and buyers.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Holly, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And if you guys need home staging or have questions or think you want to do it yourself and want to know a little bit more about it, reach out to Holly. I'll drop all her info in there.
Yeah.
And I'll see you guys soon.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Oh,